Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today, on request of my fellowship, I have been asked to do a recipe video on how I make my challah bread for the Shabbat table. If you don't know what challah bread is, I don't have time to go through it in this video, but I would recommend researching it. Without further ado, let's get started. Here are all the ingredients that you need. You're going to need a large bowl, olive oil or any oil that you have, self-raising flour, 5 large eggs, lukewarm water, yeast, granulated white sugar, salt, just a tablespoon, cling film, and the seeds at the side there for decoration. So for any bread recipe we want to first activate the yeast, so now I'm just pouring in the yeast into the smaller bowl that you have with a tablespoon of white granulated sugar and all of the lukewarm water that you have prepared. Let that sit for 5 minutes until the yeast has started to activate and it becomes slightly foamy. I'm just going to take this time to say that all the amounts that I'm using are in the description below. I've created a PDF recipe so that you can just follow that. So it should look something like this after 5 minutes. Now I'm just pouring that yeast mixture into the larger bowl that you have with the oil that you've prepared. I'm just going to give that a mix, and then I'm going to add 4 of the 5 eggs that you have got. The eggs are an essential part to this recipe. It really does just add that creaminess, add that flavour that you wouldn't get if you didn't add eggs. So now I'm just going to whisk them, mix it all up, and then I'm going to add the rest of the sugar and the salt, and then I'm going to add the flour. I would suggest adding about a cup at a time or 2 cups at a time. Do not do it all at once. After you have done that, the dough should look like this, so you want to take it out the bowl and start kneading it. I suggest for about 5 to 10 minutes until it is smooth and elasticated. I'm doing this old school, so no machines, but you can of course do this in a bread machine if that is more convenient for you. So I've just sped it up. Takes quite a while, it's a labour of love, but I love doing it this way because you really work for it. So I'm about finished now. It looks smooth, and I'm just checking the elasticity of the dough. You know that it's done when it bounces back on you, and what you want to do is leave this in a warm area for about an hour to an hour and a half. So once it's done, it should have doubled in size. That's what I'm checking now, and it looks great. So I forgot to put this in, but you need to let it rise a second time, and that's really important. So you want to press the air out of it and let it rise again for half an hour, and then it will be ready to braid, like what I'm doing here. So once your dough has risen a second time, it should have again risen. So I'm just pressing down the air, making it into a ball, and I'm getting it ready to braid. Not using the best knife, admittedly, but it's all I had at the time. So for this recipe I'm doing 2 4-braid challahs. You can always do a 3-braid or a 5-braid, but I think this is the easiest and by far the most impressive looking. So as you can see, I'm just making 4 semi-equal balls of dough. I'm taking a bit from one and putting it on the other just to make them as even as possible, and then I'm going to get working with them. So now I'm going to start rolling them out. So you want to make them about 12 to 14 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. As you can see, I'm doing now, just rolling them out, and I'm going to do this twice over. This is just half of the dough. Okay, so here's the fun bit. I'm going to tell you a formula that you can use in order to easily braid a 4-braid challah. Once you get this down, you won't be able to stop, and there'll be challahs everywhere in your house. So as I have done, just lay each strand out parallel towards one another and scrunch them all at the top. Then you're going to want to number each one from left to right. So as I do here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this numbering is not going to change no matter which strand goes where. So what I just did is I put 4 over 2, then I'm going to get strand 1 and put it over 3, and then I'm going to get strand 2 and put it over 3, just like so. And you want to repeat that again and again and again. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one more time. So you want to get strand 4 and put it over 2. Then you want to get strand 1 and put it over 3. And then you want to get 2 and put it over 3. Simple as that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so once you've come to the end, just put that to one side. I'm going to get in the last egg and whisk it up and prepare for the egg wash for both of them, but I have yet to make the other challah. Put the egg wash to one side and go ahead and braid the other half dough. If only it was that easy. Okay, so the next thing we need is a baking tray, some grease-proof paper. I'm just lining it, and then I'm going to put both on the baking tray like so, in preparation for the first egg wash. This next bit is one of my favourite parts. I just find it so relaxing for some reason. So I'm just brushing both doughs with the first layer of egg wash in preparation for the seeds to go on. Now I would do it a bit differently than I did. I put the seeds on after the first egg wash, but I actually think you should do it after the second egg wash and then put the seeds on right before you put it in the oven. So do whatever you think are most convenient for you. Once your doughs are fully braided, you need to leave this to rise again for 1 hour in a warm place. Okay, so time to put your bread in the oven. I am putting mine on for 190 Celsius for 30 to 40 minutes, and this should be your result. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Like I said, all the information that you need in order to follow this recipe is in the description below. This is hands down the most delicious challah you will ever eat. Hi guys! I'm so happy that you have come to the end of this video. I pray that it has blessed you, and I pray that you can do this challah recipe to enter into your Sabbath, just like I do. In no way am I saying that you need to do this and that it's a commandment. I just think that it is a blessing if you can do it, and if you can't, no worries. I hope you've enjoyed the video anyway. I would really appreciate your support. If you like, comment and subscribe, I would love that, and join this family of believers in Messiah. But other than that, I just want to say Shabbat Shalom, and hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.